Hello my Poke people and welcome and all to some more Sun and Moon Hype Theory discussion-y news. And can I get off Pokemon's Wild right now please? I am a little bit blown away at the latest reveals. I really thought there would be nothing major left and we'd just get a trickle of new Pokemon keeping us happy until release, but no, apparently there were bombs left to drop. This is gonna be a good one and there's just so much to talk about, so let's just start with Type Null, which is immediately a very interesting name for a Pokemon, and it's a very interesting Pokemon. So this is a synthetic Pokemon. This was created, and I mean, look at it. It's like a hideous amalgamation of like genetic splicing gone wrong, like a chimera that's twixt insect, shark, we've got mammal going on, and it's even wearing this like massive metal headgear that is apparently really heavy, that weighs it down, that controls its air quotes latent powers. This Pokemon was created because of a certain mission that needed a Pokemon that could rival those spoken of in mythology. So this thing has clearly been created for some sort of purpose. It's kind of like a Mewtwo-esque origin for this thing, and it's just very mysterious. It really is. I mean, there's definitely nothing else like it in Pokemon. It really is evil, Poke scientist gone wrong. Whoops, I accidentally fell in my gene pool. I don't know what to make of it, but this thing is used by a brand new revealed member of Team Skull, and it is Team Skull's enforcer by the name of Gladion, who very much looks like he's got himself a rare hair disorder going on, but questionable style aside, he's very much got the Gary Oak mentality, respecting strong Pokemon, all about them battles, and he uses Type Null. So the question that then rises is, where does he get it from? Does he know what's going on with it? Why does he have this mysterious synthetic chimera of a Pokemon? There's just so many questions, and this trailer has just given us so many more story threads that apparently are going to be explored and answered. At this point, I'm just like, Jesus, there is going to be so much to do in Sun and Moon. Like, I even slightly care that there's no gyms anymore. There is going to be something awesome happening wall to wall from the looks of things. So many mysteries and challenges, and just, it's going to be such a good Pokemon game. I think we are approaching critical mass, I will admit. I think we are approaching, okay, I think we've maybe got enough features, people and themes and stories. Okay, we're ready now. This is enough. So I imagine that this will be the last major new story things to be revealed. But then again, I've said that before, so who knows? Next up, then, we have ourselves another new Pokemon by the name of Jangmo-o. And I absolutely love this little thing. It's certainly planted roots in my mind. Now, that may not initially come across as anything particularly humorous, like most of what I do, but I hypothesize that this thing actually has a lot of plant designs going on with it and might actually evolve into a proper plant dragon that Mega Sceptile could never really be. I think we'll get something very majestic, because look at this guy, assuming I can say his name correctly. I'm pretty sure it's Jangmo-o, but that just sounds wrong to form in my mouth. Either way, look at this guy. He's got flower petal motifs round his neck and on his back. His head is adorned with a big single rose petal shaped shield that he defends himself with and that he headbutts his opponent. His tail is shaped like a plant bulb on the end, and I really have a sneaking suspicion and gonna lay down a prediction that this guy's gonna have two evolutions. He's gonna end up as Grass Dragon, and he's going to be the pseudo, or at least one of, if there's two, of the generation. I think he'll be the pseudo-legendary, and I can totally dig that, because this guy looks really, really cool. He really does. Now, granted, I could be completely wrong, and they could just be scales, and I'm reading too much into plant imagery, and he's just going to grow up into a nice, kind of Western-themed dragon, and there'd be nothing wrong with that either, but I still definitely do get pseudo-vibes from him. I get the kind of innocent potential that Gibble kind of gave us, so I'm very excited for this thing. It's all about being a warrior, is this guy. He has a warrior's pride. As I said, he attacks and defends with his head, so he always faces his opponent, and that gives him quite the reputation in Alola. He gets together with his fellow Jangmo-o buddies and goes to harsh environments and bros it out and trains and gets strong. And honestly, I think he is one to watch out for. Next up, we have Alolan Raticate, who is, well, interesting. I mean, he looks like he's turned up to battle, having forgotten to swallow his dinner, and I kind of like the design. It's amusing, and they've kind of given him a Ratatouille touch to him, because he's used in restaurants to identify good ingredients, because they've developed really refined taste buds, and Alolan Raticate only enjoy high-class foods. They send out Alolan Rattatas to go gather food for them and bring it back, so they can basically just glutton themselves into oblivion upon a throne of noms, which is just quite amusing. And I'm gonna quote the actual Pokedex here, and here we go. Start quote, "They have become hefty," end quote. It's just like, alright, way to dance around it, Pokemon. Its ability is Gluttony, which is very nice and thematic, but I mean, there's not much to say. It's Eradicate. It's fine. Ain't nobody gonna be jumping at the bit to use this. Or maybe there is, I don't know. Personally, it's amusing, but I would never use one on my team ever, so whatever. Next up, then, we start to get to the bombs that have been dropped. I mean, we had a mini bomb earlier with type Null and the Skull, but for now, we get something very cool, and that's that Sun and Moon are going to always be 12 hours different from each other, which means that when you put Sun in and open it up and it's daytime, that means when you put Moon in and open it up, it will be nighttime, because when you're playing Moon, it sets your DS time 12 hours ahead, so when it is day in one game, it will always be night in the other, which is very thematically awesome and a very neat way to tie the games together and have a little bit of a more intricate relationship between different versions, other than there's just some unique Pokemon, but really buy the game twice, more money, thanks. And granted, the day and night difference is to just give us different Pokemon, at least from what we can see, because, for example, you go to a place, you find a Misdreavus in Moon at night, and you go to that same place in Sun, and it's now a Drifloon during the day. But it also does affect other actual tangible things. The totem Pokemon, the big boss Pokemon at the end of the island trials, are different in Sun and Moon. There's going to be big differences between the stories of the legendaries between the versions, not just insert version legendary here, same events play out. So I'm kind of intrigued as to where else they take it. I have to imagine there's more stuff tied to this enforced and permanent day and night difference between the versions. I think it's very, very cool and a very neat idea to really make both versions have a reason to exist, which I think is something Pokemon's always needed to do, so I am happy with that. My only gripe is it's going to be annoying to effectively be permanently in night while playing one of them, because everything looks just so much prettier during the day, but I guess that's just a small complaint. Nighttime has its own charms as well. So next up on the bombs that dropped, we have the Aether Foundation, and this is very, very cool, because it means for the first time in a Pokemon game, we have effectively the two evil team setup. except that one of them is a good team, and we've never had that dynamic before, had we? We've had Team Magma and Aqua interacting with each other, but they're both evil, and yeah, they occasionally try and get in each other's way, but they both want to do something disastrous. Whereas in Alola, it looks like we'll have Team Skull, who are being thugs and little bastards all over the place, and then to counter that, we have the Aether Foundation, who are trying to do good everywhere. They are trying to counteract the negatives caused by Skull. They're trying to help people and Pokemon with their research, look after those in need, and I think this is very, very interesting because it opens a lot of possible really fun story moments. It's going to be really cool if they have you caught in the middle of this almost war between Team Skull, the evil guys, and the Aether Foundation, the good guys, because the Aether Foundation is very much structured like an evil team. They got the grunts in the field, they got the admins, the leaders, the goals, the purpose, the technology, the base. I mean, they have it all set up, but apparently they're working for good. So I think we're gonna see our first proper good team slash evil team dynamic, and I'm just very excited to see where they go with it. Now, granted, the, like, almost angelic people that are wearing all of this pure, futuristic white on a own artificial man-made island in the middle of the main Alola Islands, which incidentally is that mysterious small white island. We were wondering what it was, maybe initially thought it was the Pokemon League. Turns out that is the Aether Foundation's base. Is it Aether or Ether? I'm gonna assume Aether, but it could be Ether. Either way, that is the Aether Foundation's base, and they call it the Aether Paradise, and I feel like when you are so hard projecting this good, angelic nature, there's gotta be something dark inside, right? But the thing is, while Team Aether do appear to be holding up a sign screaming, "We're secretly evil!" and they might do a switcheroo and Team Skull might be secretly good. I mean, I doubt it, but you never know. I would hate if that was the case. I think there's nothing wrong with just having, yeah, there's a really, you know, nice group of people, this nice organization doing good things in Alola. You get to know them, you work for them, you help them out, they help you stop whatever the region disaster is in the storyline, and it's all good. Now, granted, you may say that's a little bit boring, but I would put it to you, it's way more interesting than the typical cliche, oh, they were secretly evil all along, because, I mean, a scientific island base where they conduct research, there's gotta be secret research we don't know about, right? There has to be. And something else happens in the trailer that does support that, but before we get onto it, I see two major possibilities with Team Skull and Team Aether in relation to a region-ending storyline involving the legendaries. I mean, I do want to prefix this by saying I don't think there actually needs to be a region, like, ending disaster storyline. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a lower stakes, more personal adventure, but if they do want to go down the, oh my god, this person is using this Pokemon to wipe out Alola route, I see it happening in two ways. Number one, Team Skull steal the tech to do it, steal the know-how to do it, steal the means to do it from Team Aether, and you and Team Aether work together to stop it. Number two, Team Aether themselves accidentally trigger this disaster because they think what they're doing is good, they think it'll work, but it all goes horribly wrong, a la Black Mesa, and they try to do the right thing, but they fuck it up and horrible things happen and they get taken down a peg because they, and especially their leader, do seem to have this glowing smug, oh, we're so great on our little pure paradise of amazing people going for them, and I think that maybe that might come into play. I think their arrogance in their pursuit of apparently good may just end up being kind of bad for us all. I think they're the two more interesting routes to do it, and in the second one, Team Skull could actually turn around and be like, yo, we probably should help with this. I know we're like thugs and stuff, but this is gonna going to end the region, Jesus, and then they can help you out, and I see a lot of twists and possibilities, and that gets me really excited for the Sun and Moon storyline. I know I've said it loads, but I really think it will be by far and away the most interesting Pokemon game ever by a country mile to play through. So now we get on to the next and biggest and final bomb, and that is the Ultra Beasts. Now these are very cool. I say these, there's only one been released so far, but they look awesome. We have UB01, which obviously stands for Ultra Beast 01. Again, a very interesting name for a Pokemon, but is this a Pokemon? And this is what makes these so cool. These things are mysterious creatures, and they are a threat to both humans and Pokemon alike, and they're feared by everyone, and they are just these sort of alien entities that no one quite understands. For example, UB01 is composed of this almost glass-like substance that morphs and changes as it floats through the air, and it seems to be just this mesmerizing thing that reminds people of a young girl in how it moves, and this raises a lot of questions, and then further questions are raised by the fact that the Aether organization is conducting research on this. In fact, we see a portal open up in the Aether Paradise and bring UB01 forth. Now, what if these things aren't Pokemon or people? What if you can't catch them with a Pokeball? What if they are just powerful entities that you have to just beat into submission? I think it would be really cool to have them as uncatchable, because they're not entirely Pokemon and they're not entirely human. And then I think it might go a little bit further, and this is my personal down the rabbit hole theory connecting everything. I think that UB01 is actually Lily that's working with the professor, the girl with the mysterious secret. She does look like she's kind of dressed like the Aether organization. She does share similarities with UB01's look. She's said to have a mysterious secret. She's said to play an important role. She looks like she could be the daughter related to the leader of the Aether organization. If we're gonna take it even further, Gladion, the Skull Enforcer that was announced in this trailer, looks like he could be the leader's son and Lily's brother, and maybe Gladion doesn't agree with the research that Aether are doing, so he joins Skull in order to throw a wrench in their plans, and you've got a kind of family tension storyline there, and that's why he has Type Null, because he stole it with him from the Aether Paradise before he left and became part of Team Skull. Maybe he saw Type Null and was like, no, what we're doing is wrong. This experimentation, this synthetic Pokemon creating is going to go horribly wrong. And indeed, maybe in summoning forth the Ultra Beast, it in fact did, and now he wants to stop that. And there's this nice grey area of who's doing the right thing for the wrong reasons or the wrong thing for the right reasons and how it's going to resolve. And it looks like there's a possibility of this entire web of intrigue, and maybe I'm reading too much into it. But would that not be wicked sick, yo? I feel like it would. So I feel like UB01 is Lily, and she can change into that form and out of it at will. Or maybe it's got a connection to her. Maybe it sort of bonded with her when it got summoned, and that's why she's been sent to the professor to see if he can help. But either way, I think there's a lot of potential, and I'm very, very excited. I mean, I didn't really expect this to turn into a theory and news video, but there we go. I can't resist with this. It's so cool. And then finally, we have a Pokemon Snap-like minigame where you can take cool pictures of Pokemon and share them around, and that's all neat. It looks nice, looks like a lot of fun to do. And we finally have ourselves a little bit more Zygarde information, because the professor assistants from X and Y come to Alola, give us the Zygarde Cube, which is a device for collecting Zygarde cells, and obviously something will probably happen once we collect them all that'll activate Zygarde and probably tie in with the main story, which is definitely pretty damn neat. So there's a lot going on, and it's very exciting. So there you go, guys. Let me know what you think. I am I am processing a lot here. Like if you've enjoyed this, share this around. I'd love lots of people to see it, and let's have a discussion in the comments. Oh, yes. My name's been Rage. I'll see you all next time. Oh, goodbye.